Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Senior Vice President, Nissan in Europe, Mr. Simon Thomas.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Nissan press conference. A particular welcome to all of our Facebook friends that are watching online. Did you know that today there are 67 press conferences here at the Geneva Motor Show? 67. That's a lot, and there's not a lot I can do to get you through that, but what I guess I can do is just keep the numbers to a minimum, keep the charts to a minimum, and tell you something about Nissan that perhaps you don't already know. Let's start with last year's performance. Last year for Nissan globally was a record year. We sold 4 million units worldwide last year. That's a 21% increase on the previous year, well ahead of any market increase. We were also the #1 top-selling Japanese brand in the biggest market in the world, which, as you know, last year was China. It overtook the US. Now, we used to be the #1 top-selling Japanese brand in Europe. Well, we want it back. And today I'm going to declare Nissan's intention to win back the #1 top-selling Japanese brand in Europe. That's our ambition. Now, you may ask, is that credible? Is that achievable? Well, obviously, we think it is. In fact, in many markets in Europe, in major markets in Europe, we're already the top-selling #1 Japanese brand. Example, UK, and also in Russia. And if you look over the last 3 years, you'll see our market share has grown significantly and constantly every single year. And if you look at our market share this year to date, it's the highest market share we've ever achieved in the history of Nissan in Europe. So, what has fueled this growth for Nissan in Europe? Well, I could list a lot of things, but I'm just going to mention 3. First of all, we've established 600 additional retail points, and we're going to establish another 400. So that's 1,000 extra dealer retail points in Europe. Second reason is the last 2 years, just the last 2 years, we've launched 10 new products. And that makes our range in Europe one of the youngest of all the brands. Third reason, and this might surprise you, we sell 24 different products in Europe. You know, we're represented in more segments than any other brand in Europe. Any other brand in Europe. We sell 4 different crossovers, and they're probably the products that we're most famous for. And quite rightly so, because we are the undisputed leader in crossover sales. More than 1 in 4 of the crossovers that are sold in Europe wear a Nissan badge. And the Nissan Qashqai, that's just sold 1 million units, has increased its sales every single year since it was launched 4 years ago. And we've just launched the Nissan Juke. And already that's our second best-selling vehicle. And we already have more than 70,000 customers waiting in line to take delivery. But we don't just sell crossovers. We sell, as I said, a very wide range. We sell 3 small vehicles. This is an area of the market which is growing and an area of the market where Nissan has always had a strength. We sell 4 SUVs. And we also sell a very wide range of light commercial vehicles, 6 light commercial vehicles, including the 2010 International Van of the Year, the very flexible NV200. And we're also pretty famous for our sports cars too, including the awesome and now legendary Nissan GTR. So all this diversity from just one brand. It's just one brand. But of course now, we're adding a new category of vehicle to the Nissan range. Zero-emission electric vehicles. 18 years of battery development and more than 4 billion euros of joint alliance investment gave us this, the Nissan Leaf. It's the only 5-seater, full-size, dedicated platform EV on the market in Europe today. And ladies and gentlemen of the press, you voted it the European Car of the Year. And for that, I sincerely want to thank you, not just for the team that brought this car to market, but everybody in Nissan. We genuinely celebrated really hard that night when you gave us that vote of confidence. And we didn't really get much of a vote of confidence from our competitors when we showed this car for the first time 3 years ago, or even when we showed it in Geneva 2 years ago. Most of our competitors were saying that EVs weren't viable. There wasn't any demand for electric vehicles. Well, while they were asking those questions, we just built one. Now you can go around the stand today and you'll see EVs, concepts, and future EVs that most of our brand competitors are exhibiting. But they're mostly talking about tomorrow. The Nissan Leaf is on sale today. We're building the Nissan Leaf today. It's on sale in 3 different continents today. We're even building the factories in Europe to build the batteries and the cars today. And it is the only affordable full-size EV that's on the market today. So is it viable? Is there market demand? Well, we have 250,000 hand raisers that say it is. And we also have 27,000 customers that have been prepared to put a deposit down to take delivery of a Nissan Leaf. So yes, it is viable. And yes, the market is ready today. But this is only Nissan's first step into the world of zero emissions. And to give you a glimpse of perhaps what we might do next, I'm going to hand over to our Chief Creative Officer, Mr. Shiro Nakamura.